You were not born weak. You were born wild, with greatness stamped on your soul. But somewhere between fear and failure, you let your mind forget who you are. It's time to remember, your brain is not your enemy. It's your weapon. But a weapon in the wrong hands becomes a threat. And if you don't hold the sword, your doubt will. You've got to rewire that machine. You've got to break the code that's been running your life on autopilot. You wake up tired, not just in body, but in spirit, because your thoughts are eating your energy. They've been trained by pain, by failure, by people who gave up on their own dreams. And now they whisper in your ear, you're not enough. But who said you had to believe that? Your mind is the most powerful weapon you will ever carry, but it was never meant to lead you. It was meant to serve you. Too many people are being ruled by a mind that was never trained, never disciplined, never taught how to build, instead of break. And the danger of that? A mind with no master becomes a prison with no doors. You can have all the talent, all the drive, and still be defeated daily, not by people, not by problems, but by your own thoughts. That inner voice that tells you to quit, that convinces you it's too late, that whispers fear into your dream. That voice doesn't have authority unless you give it the mic. The truth is, you don't have to believe every thought that comes to your head. Your thoughts are suggestions, not commands. The mind gives you options, but it's your responsibility to choose. Every time you allow a lie to go unchecked, you're letting that lie become law in your life. Your brain wasn't designed to make you happy. It was designed to keep you safe. It will look for threats, problems, reasons to hesitate. That's why change feels hard. That's why risk feels wrong. But if you don't override that system with courage, you'll spend your life building walls around your potential. You were never supposed to be a slave to your emotions, your past, or your fears. Your mind can be trained. Like a sword, it can be sharpened. Like a muscle, it can be strengthened. But that training requires awareness. You've got to recognize when your mind is helping you and when it's holding you hostage. The greatest shift you'll ever make is when you stop asking your mind for permission and start giving it direction. When you wake up and say, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I'm going. And every time that doubt creeps in, you remind it, you work for me now. A tool left unused becomes rust. A tool misused becomes a weapon against its owner. But a tool in the hands of someone focused, disciplined, and clear, that tool builds empires. That mind, when trained, becomes the very thing that makes you unstoppable. So the question is simple. Are you using your mind, or is your mind using you? Your brain doesn't change just because you want it to. It changes because you train it to. What you do over and over again becomes who you are. See, repetition is the real architect of transformation. You don't rise to your potential, you fall to your patterns. And your patterns are built by what you repeat in silence, not what you scream in excitement. Every thought, every word, every habit, it's wiring your brain like code. And the thing is, the brain doesn't care whether it's good or bad. It just says, oh, we're doing this again. Must be important. That's how mediocrity becomes muscle memory. That's how doubt becomes default. But flip that, and you'll find how greatness is built, not by inspiration, but by repetition. Bertad. You want confidence? Speak life to yourself every single day. You want discipline? Practice it even when you don't feel like it. You want strength? Get uncomfortable over and over again, because the brain rewires by doing, not by dreaming. You don't think your way into a new identity. You act your way there again and again and again. That's why you can't just wait for motivation. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Habits are climate. They shape the environment of your entire life. Every time you do the hard thing when it's easier to quit, you're laying down new track in the brain. New wiring, new signals, new power. You ever notice how fear gets louder the more you listen to it? That's repetition. You've rehearsed defeat so long, it became your first response. But you can reverse it. You can rehearse boldness. You can practice belief. You can train yourself to trust again, try again, move forward again, until it becomes second nature. Repetition isn't glamorous. It's not viral. It doesn't look good on Instagram, but it's what separates the talkers from the doers. While most people are chasing excitement, the relentless are mastering the mundane. Same actions, same time, same place, until the world has no choice but to call them unstoppable. You're building either chains or wings with your daily repetition. It's either going to confine you or carry you. You might not see the change right away, but the wiring is happening. One rep, one step, one choice at a time. That's how you program greatness into your system. So stop waiting for a miracle. Start creating momentum. Repeat what builds you until the brain forgets how to be anything but powerful. Your mind is always eating. Every word, every image, every conversation, it's fuel. The question is, what are you feeding it? Because the brain doesn't just digest thoughts. It turns them into belief system. It takes what you see and hear and says, this must be reality. And once it believes that, it starts shaping your life to match it. If all you do is consume chaos, don't be surprised when you start feeling anxious. If all you listen to is gossip and doubt, don't be shocked when your spirit feels heavy. See, what goes in must come out. And too many people are starving their purpose while feeding their fears every single day. You want to change your life? Start by changing your input. Guard your gates, your eyes, your ears, your mind. Don't just watch what entertains you. Watch what equips you. Read things that stretch you. Yeah. Listen to things that challenge you. Speak things that lift you. Your future depends on what your mind is dining on today. You can't feed your mind junk and expect it to produce clarity. You can't watch average and expect to live extraordinary. Every scroll, every song, every word is a seed, and your mind is the soil. What are you planting in there? Because soon enough, that garden will start to grow, and you'll either harvest strength or sorrow. Most people don't realize they're programming their destruction. They laugh at low standards and wonder why they feel low. They speak lack and wonder why nothing grows. But you're different. You're awake now. And now that you know better, you've got to feed your mind like your life depends on it. Because it does. There are books that will unlock your potential. There are voices that will sharpen your focus. There are messages that will remind you who you are. Find them. Soak in them. Replay them until the old you can't even recognize the new one. That's how transformation happens. Not in a moment of hype, but in a lifestyle of truth. Don't just feed your mind once and expect change. This is daily bread, daily practice, daily work. The brain needs consistency to trust the process. And when you feed it greatness long enough, it starts craving it more than comfort. It starts rejecting anything that doesn't align with who you're becoming. So feed your mind with purpose. Feed it with power. Feed it with the future you want to live in until your vision is so strong, your brain refuses to settle for anything less. Everybody wants power, but nobody wants pain. Yet the two are connected like breath and lungs. You don't get one without the other. You see, the world told you that pain means stop, that hurt means something's wrong. But the truth is, pain is proof that something in you is trying to grow. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Pain has a purpose. It shows you where the work is. It breaks you open so the light can get in. It doesn't show up to destroy you. It shows up to develop you. Every struggle, every slipback, every sleepless night, it's carving depth into your soul. And depth is where the power lives, the strongest people you'll ever meet. They've been through some things, they've cried in silence, they've lost battles, but they didn't run from it. They sat with it. They wrestled with their weakness until strength came out the other side. They used their pain as fuel, not chains. You don't build mental muscle in comfort. You build it when everything in you wants to quit, but you don't. When your heart's breaking, but you still show up, that's where character is born. That's where greatness is formed. Pain trains your focus. Pain deepens your faith. Pain strengthens your why. Most people avoid pain. That's why most people never grow. They numb it, distract from it, blame someone else for it. But you've got to flip the script. Ask the pain, what are you teaching me? Because hidden inside every hardship is a lesson that will launch you forward if you're willing to lean in instead of run. And no, it's not easy. Nobody said it would be, but easy doesn't change you. Easy doesn't build legacy. You can't be forged in fire without heat. So when life turns up the pressure, don't curse it, use it. Pressure turns coal into diamonds. What do you think it's trying to do to you? The pain didn't come to break you. It came to build the version of you that you prayed for. The one who doesn't fold, the one who doesn't fear, the one who stands tall even when life tries to knock them down. That kind of strength. It doesn't come from theory, it comes from trust. So stop asking why me and start declaring a try me. Because once you walk through your pain and face it head on, you don't just survive, you evolve, you rise, and you become unstoppable. Before your feet ever move, your mind must see. That's where it starts. Vision, not eyesight, insight. Eyesight tells you what is. Vision tells you what could be. And if you keep feeding your brain the same image of struggle, of limits, of failure, don't be surprised when it becomes your reality. Your brain is a builder, and the blueprint is your vision. If all you ever focus on is the pain, the problem, the past, that's all the brain will recreate. But when you start feeding it a new image, a higher image, one of discipline, purpose, and success, begins rerouting your entire nervous system to match that picture. Don't wait for evidence. You've got to see it before you have it. That's how faith works. You speak it before you live it. You train your brain to move in the direction of your destiny, not your doubts, that mental movie you play every day. It's programming your habits, your expectations, your emotional response. Upgrade that movie. Vision doesn't come to the passive, it comes to the prepared. People talk about a manifesting success like it's magic. It's not magic, it's mental wiring. The more clearly you define your vision, the more efficiently your brain filters out distraction. The more intensely you focus, the more blind you become to fear. There's a reason top athletes visualize before they perform. Champions rehearse the win in their mind until their body believes it's already happened. Why? Because your brain can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. What you see consistently, you begin to embody. You don't become powerful by accident. You become powerful on purpose. That means waking up and feeding your mind a picture that pulls you, drives you, anchors you. That means creating a clear, vivid, non-negotiable vision of where you're going, even if your current reality looks nothing like it. So ask yourself, what image are you feeding your brain? Because if your vision is weak, your drive will be too. But when your vision is strong, sharp, and soul deep, your brain starts eliminating everything that doesn't align. Fear can't stay. Laziness can't stay. Confusion can't stay. Your mind becomes a magnet for alignment. And when that vision is locked in, not just a dream, but a decision, you no longer chase success, you attract it, you command it. Because now your brain isn't fighting your future, it's building it. Gratitude ain't just being polite, it's being powerful. It's not just saying a thank you when life feels good. It's choosing to see good even when life feels hard. And when you train your brain to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong, you change your entire emotional chemistry. The brain has this built-in habit. It scans for problems. That's survival mode. That's how we were wired. But you're not here just to survive, you're here to live. And the only way to flip that internal script is to teach your mind to seek out blessings instead of burdens. Gratitude does that. It rewires the emotional default. You ever notice how easy it is to feel overwhelmed, irritated, disappointed? That's because your emotional filters are dirty. You've been running thoughts that are low in frequency, low in purpose. But when you start the day with gratitude, you shift the lens. You start seeing opportunity where others see obstacles. Gratitude trains your nervous system to calm down. It tells your brain, we are safe, we are provided for, we are ready. And when your body believes that, your focus gets sharper, your reactions get slower, your emotions get steadier. Gratitude isn't weakness, it's emotional discipline. Now, here's the thing, gratitude isn't automatic. You've got to build it. You've got to wake up and write it down. Speak it out loud. Reflect on it during the storm. Gratitude isn't for the easy days, it's for the dark days. It's your flashlight in the fog. It's your armor when the world tries to weigh you down. People think gratitude means settling. No, it means strengthening. You're not ignoring your problems, you're refusing to be defined by them. You're saying, yeah, this hurts, but I'm still blessed. Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm still standing. That mindset rewires the emotional tone of your life. And when you practice that long enough, something wild happens. Peace becomes your baseline. Joy becomes your normal. Your highs get higher and your lows don't destroy you. You stop being tossed around by emotions because gratitude gave your soul a foundation. So feed your emotions what you want to feel. Don't wait to be thankful. Decide to be. Because the mind that lives in gratitude becomes the heart that walks in power. The world is loud. Everybody's talking. Everybody's rushing. Everybody's trying to be seen, trying to be heard. But here's the truth. When your life gets too noisy, your soul gets too quiet. And you can't hear your calling through chaos. You've got to learn to turn the volume down on the world to turn the volume up on your purpose. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strength. It's where wisdom lives. It's where clarity speaks. But we've gotten so addicted to distractions, we fear silence. We fill every quiet moment with noise, scrolling, swiping, watching, reacting. And in doing that, we're drowning out the one voice that matters most, the one inside. You can't walk in purpose when you're listening to every opinion. You can't follow your calling when you're caught up in the crowd. Not everybody deserves access to your mind. Not every comment is worth a response. You've got to learn to guard your focus like a soldier guards the gate, because focus is how you hear direction. Stillness isn't passive, it's powerful. When you shut off the world and sit with yourself, you start hearing things again. You start noticing what your heart's been whispering for years. You remember what lights your fire. You remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Some of the greatest breakthroughs you'll ever have won't come from someone else talking. They'll come when you finally stop and listen to your breath, to your spirit, to that deep, undeniable pull that says, you were made for more. That voice doesn't shout, it waits for silence. And don't be surprised if you feel uncomfortable at first. That's the detox. That's your soul waking back up after years of being drowned in distractions. But stay in it, sit in it. Let it sharpen you, because once you get comfortable in silence, you start moving differently in noise. You'll stop reacting to every little thing. You'll stop chasing approval. You'll start moving with direction, with conviction, with peace. And peace, that's the real power. The kind that can't be faked. The kind that confuses people. The kind that comes only from knowing exactly who you are and where you're going. So unplug. Step away. Get still. Because in the silence, you don't just hear your calling, you remember your power. Everybody wants change, but not everybody wants consistency. We love the idea of transformation, but we ignore the grind that makes it real. Let me tell you something. Change isn't built in big moments. It's built in the boring ones, the unseen ones. The ones where you show up when nobody's watching and still give it everything you've got. Consistency is the rewire code. That's what tells your brain that this is who I am now. Not a one-time win, not a motivational burst, but the decision you make every single day to keep going, keep building, keep believing, no matter how small the progress looks. It's not about intensity, it's about repetition. You can work hard for a day and feel good, but that won't change your life. What changes you is showing up again the next day. When it's raining, when it's hard, when you feel nothing, especially then, because that's when the old wiring starts to break down. See, your brain rewires by pattern. And the moment you start doing things the new you would do, on repeat, you begin replacing the old you, slowly, quietly, but permanently. Consistency doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you listen, you'll hear it saying, well, we're becoming unstoppable now. You want mental toughness? Earn it, day by day. Choice by choice. Win the morning, win the habit, win the moment. Stack those wins, small victories done daily, beat massive goals done occasionally. Because your brain doesn't remember what you said you were going to do. It remembers what you did. The enemy of consistency is comfort. That lazy voice in your head will try to convince you one day off won't hurt. But one day off turns into two into 10, and before you know it, you've abandoned the very thing you swore you'd build. That's why you need discipline. Discipline keeps the promise when motivation has left the room. Consistency is your identity in motion. It's proof you're not just inspired, you're committed. That your goals aren't just talk, they're truth. And when you stack enough consistent days, you earn something money can't buy. Self-respect, confidence, power. You don't have to announce it, you become it. So whatever you're trying to build, discipline, strength, peace, success, understand this. It's not a one-time decision. It's a daily devotion. Consistency is the bridge between your now and your next. Walk it every single day and watch your brain rewire into something unstoppable.